You definitely caught me on the downturn of the startup roller coaster, like mental cycle.
Head is not above water whatsoever. I'm deep in it. I thought it would slow down after Black Hat. It did not. It's only picked up.
A week or two ago, we had our best week ever. 3 new customers in 1 week. We are going to be rolling out an update to our pricing model. I'm a little terrified that our pricing is going to be wildly unprofitable.
Our growth is like pretty much entirely dependent on the sentiment in the market, right? And like who we're servicing.
Be authentic. Don't position yourself as an expert. Ask questions. Say like, hey, I saw this thing. Like link to other people's resources. You don't have to be a know-it-all. You can show up and be a part of the conversation while being honest about your level of expertise.
JJ and I have been talking about possibly buying an agency, like a small one, like a 2-person or solo person masking as an agency to charge more money.
Love hearing those words. Love hearing Sean's son say process. Oh man, music to my ears. Welcome to season 4 of the Small Effort Podcast.
Today, we're starting fresh and diving deep into the reality of being a founder in the SaaS world.
From the struggles of building a business to the breakthroughs that keep you going, we're pulling back the curtain on what it's really like to grow and scale a SaaS company.
We're talking about the tough decisions, the wins, the losses, and everything in between. If you're in the SaaS game or planning to start, this episode has real-world insights you won't want to miss.
We're sharing what's actually working for us and how you can apply it to your business right now.
Subscribe for more stories.
Every small move is how we get.
What's up?
Hey, we back. Is this the start of season? What season are we on? Season 4?
Yeah,
this is season 4, episode 2. Are we going to bury episode 1 forever and make it our new lost tapes? Or are we going to, do you want me to release it? Make a decision right now.
You feel like, it seems like you want to bury it so we can bury it.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like I just rambled for 30 minutes, and I was also like, you definitely caught me on the downturn of the startup roller coaster, like mental cycle, and I'm feeling more positive this week. So
cool.
Let's start on a good note.
Cool. Done. Easy. Yeah. Great. How you doing? Where are you? Not the usual background.
No. I'm in Columbia, South Carolina, cat sitting for my parents. My parents are jet setting around Europe, living their retired life to the fullest. My German aunt is getting remarried this week.
Sweet.
So they went to London and then Amsterdam and then Germany, and then they're going to Denmark on a joint honeymoon with my aunt and her new husband.
Joint honeymoon. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard that term like used before, but that makes sense.
It's not real. Like they actually got married a few months ago, and this is just like the wedding celebration. And so they just wanted to go on a weekend trip with my parents. And cool. So I've been joking with my mom that she's going on Geesy's honeymoon with her, but that's not really what's happening. So I'm cat sitting, hanging out with Ruthie.
Nice.
My cat's
I'm
got
going to a wedding.
Huh?
I'm going to a wedding.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, but tell me about your cat first. What about?
Oh, I was just gonna say earlier this year, my mom got what she calls her resistance cat. The cat's name is RBG, and we call her Ruthie.
Nice.
So she's adorable. Big fan.
Cool. Hope she also lives to like 90 something.
I hope so too.
Yeah, I'm going to like my first wedding ever because
oh my god,
it's not even
a
wedding.
First wedding. I feel like I've been going to weddings nonstop for the last 10 years. Maybe this
is
like
the start to that.
Maybe. Yeah. We are different ages, which I forget often. Old and getting older every day.
You don't look a day over 40, my friend.
I also wonder if it's partially a New York thing versus a like growing up in the Southeast thing. If
my asshole friends just don't like. There's like fuck a wedding. We just got married and didn't tell you, and then like that's all.
To be fair, that's kind of what I want to do. I think I want to elope with just like parents and then throw a big ass party because nice. I do not want to pay the wedding markup. I'm not about that life.
I think these friends. He's a summer camp friend from like high school. We just always kept in touch. For years, cool. Like loosely. They also got married in the middle of COVID, and they just never actually had like a wedding-esque party. So this isn't even technically. I've never been to it. Well, I think my cousin got married when I was really young, so I think I've been there. But outside of like actually as a brain functioning adult, like I've just never seen people consummate their marriage or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think I have either. I don't think that's like a thing anymore, Sean.
Not what I've never seen people publicly like make vows to each other in a wedding setting. Not consummate does not mean what I thought it'd be. You know what's crazy? We're gonna go on a tangent really quickly. Guess what I just realized yesterday after like 18 years?
What's that?
You know the song My Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the Yard?
Yep.
This is like
Are you just now realizing that's about boobs?
No. I'm just realizing that when she says I have to charge, she meant I have to like charge you money. Ever since I was a kid,
Oh,
like when I first heard that song, I thought she meant like, I don't know, I have to like charge the machine or I'm out of milkshake. I have to like recharge it. And I always thought that song made no fucking sense. But now it's trending because of the whole Cat's Eye Gap commercial.
I have no idea what commercial you're talking about, and to be
Okay.
honest, have never heard that line or never noticed that line. That's funny.
Great. Okay. Well, anyway, I went to
What's the
bed right after
commercial?
that. You know the whole like jeans commercial with like Sydney Sweeney
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
like
Yeah.
then I forget which other American Eagle did theirs, and then another one did another like a response to that, and then Gap just did one with the global girl group Cat's Eye, which
Oh,
is like,
cool.
and they've become like the winner in this entire scenario because like anyway, the song that they chose, which I also don't understand why they chose that song, but anyway, they chose that song. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and then whatever I have to charge, and it's just nonstop. I just hear it on like every other short, and yeah, it finally clicked. I was just like thinking about it, and then anyway, cool. How's MetaMonster doing?
MetaMonster is good. I am, like I said earlier, I'm kind of on an upswing right now.
Yeah,
So a week or two ago, we had our best week ever. 3 new customers in 1 week.
cool. Like paid customers.
Yeah. So that's like
Cool,
basically doubled our. We went from 4 to
amazing,
7 customers. So
amazing.
we like
Okay,
doubled our MRR in 1 day, which is the hilarity of being early stage startup and not having any customers. We are also launching the new stuff a week from today.
cool.
So the new UI is going live. We are going to be rolling out an update to our pricing model. So we have made the switch to credits. We should talk about that because I'm
Okay,
a little terrified that our pricing is going to be wildly unprofitable, at least on the upper tiers. I've been wanting to test this for ages, and we finally did it because we finally have like a proper credit system. And so we are going to be testing a credit-based free trial. So no time limit, take as long as you want. You get 500 credits when you sign up.
cool,
And while you're on a free trial, we limit you to like, I think we're going to limit you to like 250 pages crawled per site
cool.
so that you don't burn all your credits in one go. So that would basically give you like a full website of optimizations of like
Hold
one
on, these are
optimization.
optimization credits or crawl credits?
They apply for both. So
Okay,
when you
cool.
crawl a page, that's a credit. If you run an optimization on a page, that's a credit. If you send a message to the chat agent, that's a credit. Reason for that is we automatically generate vector embeddings of all of your site content
Gotcha.
when we crawl a site. And so that's part of the, our costs and part of the,
Sweet.
the value. Yeah. So really, really excited to test that out. And that will kind of turn back on the self-serve sign up when we do that and refocus on product-led growth for a little while and see if I can get more traffic to the site, get some people coming through, trying the tool, experiencing,
Sweet.
getting to the aha moment, hopefully a little bit better. I do kind of think the tool, the risk is that AI is still a little wonky. Sometimes it takes some massaging and some working with to really get value. So like we're going to have to experiment with the credit limits for that free trial a lot. That may be too few, but there's also cost associated again. And so I can't give away too many. Yeah. So the risk is like, can people get to the aha moment on their own? Is the tool far enough along that they can experience that and get excited about it and use it? Or does it take more hand holding still?
Mm-hmm.
But I think at this point, we just need to get more people in the door and like try some stuff out.
Cool. Sweet. I did get your email this morning. I had a little cliffhanger. It was like, yeah, it was cool to see. It was cool. You have a very I always enjoy the writing style you have for like your SaaS emails.
Oh, nice. I
Makes any
appreciate
sense.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Sweet. I
What do
didn't
you?
realize that you generate vector embeddings every time you crawl something.
Yeah, so that's new within the
Okay.
new UI. We weren't doing that originally because we
I
didn't
see. I
need
feel less
vector
bad. Okay.
embeddings
Cool.
originally. Yeah, like
Got it.
originally we were just passing the page content. But
Got it.
now, so for the chat agent to work, we have to have vector embeddings of everything. And then for, when you run a prompt template in the new UI, you can run a search. Like every page optimization that runs can search every other page, which enables you to do stuff like internal linking
Right.
optimization and stuff like that. I still got to really experiment with those tools and with our prompts in order to like really create some good content around how to leverage that. I think one of the things that like I really want to create content around is like the tooling that's available to our agents in MetaMonster, because like the content cluster analyzer tool we have is fucking cool. We've got like, you know, a word and character counter, like a counter tool is like a very simple thing, but it's something LLMs are naturally bad at.
Yes.
These like vector search tools, we have a SERP tool so that you can pull in like SERP data. Eventually, like we'll probably add some like keyword data tooling. So yeah, I feel like I need to create more content around that and talk about it. Cool. But what do you think about the 500 credits and like the credit-based free trial?
I don't know about that. I don't have feelings about the number, but I love that you have a free trial that's like limited to, I love the decision to like not let someone burn it on their first go around makes like perfect sense to me. Yeah. I mean, I feel like if you crawl 250 pages, that should be enough to get a sense of like how good the tool is, right? Like I think, you know, when I did get a chance to try it, I think a week or 2 weeks ago, like things that were useful was like crawl the page, tell me all the typos that exist in these pages, or tell me like all the lorem ipsum and all that stuff. Honestly, it's easier to do in that than like it is in Screaming Frog, especially for like the lorem ipsum stuff. So I thought that was, I mean, makes sense. Yeah. How's the traffic to the site right now?
Let me check. Let's fuck it, let's do it live. So I was experimenting with ads, and then I turned those off for a little while because like they weren't really working, and I didn't want to just be burning money. So let's take the last like 2 weeks maybe. Okay, so today's Wednesday. Let's take the last 2 weeks as, you know, a sample size. You know, not incredible. We're at like 178 people over the last 2 weeks. So like 400 people a month. Would like to see that be like 4,000 people a month. So I need to figure out like part of what I need to do is I need to 10x that. So I need to start creating a lot more content, get more content up on the site. I have been doing that. We've got some use case pages up now. We've got some more alternative pages. We've got a couple new blog posts, and I want to scale that. So probably going to create a couple of like long form guides and then try to establish those as my hub pages, my pillar pages, and then try to create some supporting content around that. The flow, I'm kind of split strategy here because, you know, the LinkedIn stuff that I'm doing is not driving a whole lot of traffic. Like let's see, in the last 2 weeks, you know, LinkedIn's our fourth biggest referrer. Like Google is still the biggest one. And so like I'd rather like double down on, also it's a natural fit for us, like double down on search, organic search. And let's see, ChatGPT is pretty far down there, but I'm sure there's room to grow on like AI search optimization stuff. So like LinkedIn's not sending a bunch of traffic to the site, but LinkedIn is like, we're getting good engagement. Like the LinkedIn strategy that I talked about months ago of let me find SEO influencers who are talking about new trends and tactics and techniques in SEO, and then show how you can do that, like execute that in MetaMonster, is working. And like people are booking calls and like talking to me and like expressing interest on LinkedIn from that.
Sweet.
And so I don't want to stop doing that. And I think the answer is like there's a natural flow here where I can record a demo video doing something cool in MetaMonster. And then I can pretty easily take the transcript from that video and use that to create a LinkedIn post, an email, and a blog post. And that pattern, you know, I think is a good pattern to execute on, but it ends up where taking that approach, my like content creation is a little less strategic. And I think to like really explode organic content, I probably need more scale than like one post a week. I need to do, you know, like I want to create some prompt templates and create like kind of a vault of prompt templates, which can be good LinkedIn content too, I think. But I want a bunch of pages for like all of our like a page for all of our prompt templates in our product with a short little write-up around it. And, you know, I've been meaning for ages to go and create some free tools, which I think would help with organic a lot. I guess basically what I'm saying is I'm struggling a little bit to figure out how much effort to put into more intentional organic growth versus social and like YouTube.
We'll come back to it. It's related. Now that you have 3 new customers, are you still going to go do the SEO agency strategy?
That's another good question. So our customers, 2 of our 3 new customers, the third I haven't talked to, but the 2 we have talked to are SEO agencies. And so I still think SEO agencies are going to be our best customers. The exception is potentially larger scale companies, especially like kind of e-commerce brands, I think.
Right.
Like if we're going to go after brands, it needs to be finding brands with lots of pages.
The question that I'm asking isn't are you going to target SEO agencies? I meant there was a moment where you thought about like offering SEO consulting services. Are you still going to do that?
I do still have a proposal out for like a content engineering contract, and I would still like to execute that. And if that proposal falls through, I probably will find a couple. The reason for that was not like, let's become an agency. The reason for that was we need to do SEO work to learn what's working and build case studies. And whether we do that for ourselves and for like a couple of clients for free, I would rather get paid for it if we're going to be doing it anyway. And then it would bring some revenue in. That's more about building case studies than it is like a pivot in business strategy to me.
Got it. Okay. So going back to your other question, I think you should definitely do the organic content stuff, especially if it's like SEO rich and ready, but like actually human readable. And, you know, going back to the whole, like, this is how you do XYZ and in the platform and creating content off of that. I think you should but I think you should go like, you should spend a lot more time doing like the social listening and commenting thing. I think like the conversation around like growth on LinkedIn reminds me of like 2020 conversations about growth. No, 2017 to 2019 conversations about growth on Twitter, which was like what people used to say is like the coolest thing about Twitter is that you could like comment on some famous person's thing and they would actually see it and like might actually respond to it versus like Instagram, right? And I think like LinkedIn, the cool thing is like when you post as a comment, all their followers actually do see it and have a high chance of seeing it. Especially if people are engaging with your specific comment, you know, it's on the LinkedIn feed. They don't show you every single comment, but they show like one or two sort of highlighted, most relevant ones. So I totally think
so you're talking about expanding the LinkedIn strategy to like do more commenting and like being more of an active part of the conversation on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Be social on social media.
Posting.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think you should still post, but I think that I think you should like, if I was going to like 80-20 my time, I would 80% do the like social listening stuff and searching. Cause I think, I mean, it's like, I think in between the two, only one of them actually expands your reach outside of your network.
Cool. Are you saying 80% social listening, 20% posting, or are you saying 80% LinkedIn, 20% organic social?
No, I don't have like a good, you mean organic content? You mean like
sorry, organic search.
Yeah. I have no idea what I would split my time doing between blog posts versus this is what I would do. I think I would probably try to comment on like at least 2 people's LinkedIn posts a day and then probably try to do like 1 blog post a week that's like a use case blog post, like how to find typos or how to, you know, I don't know what it would be using the platform. And I think I would just like, I would just do that. And I'm sure they would converge, right? I'm sure like you're going to like do, I guess my point is like, I would lead with social listening. And then I can even see you write blog posts based on the social listening part. And I feel like that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I just like across the board, I think we just see like way more opportunity doing growth on LinkedIn that way at the moment.
Cool. Yeah. I think the thing that I struggle with, whether it's doing that on LinkedIn, doing it on Reddit, is one, there's a little bit of imposter syndrome of like, I still don't feel like an SEO expert. Sometimes commenting on these things is hard. I think the way around that is like, be authentic. Don't position yourself as an expert. Ask questions. Say like, hey, I saw this thing, like link to other people's resources. Like, you know, you don't have to be a know-it-all. You can show up and be a part of the conversation while being honest about like your level of expertise.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing that I'm imagining your comments are more like you see someone talk about a problem they're having, you link them like a loom of like, hey, this is how you can do that in MetaMonster easily. Sort of
the other thing that's a struggle is just like for someone with ADHD, like social is such a black hole that I can get sucked into and lose my entire day that it's hard to like constrain that in a productive way.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think the solution for right now is just fucking deal with it. And then like, as soon as you're capable, hire someone whose psychology is better suited to do that on a consistent basis.
Yeah. I mean, for what it's worth, I don't know who's good at social that doesn't have ADHD. I almost feel like you have to have it because it makes you want to doom scroll, and then I think like social is about understanding like cultural context, right? So that your
Yeah.
comments are relevant and stuff. So like, how do you get cultural context if you're not doom scroll? Like
maybe it's about hiring someone who can afford to just, that's their entire job, and they don't have to
yeah,
feel like they're not doing other things that they should be doing.
that's probably accurate. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I installed TikTok for like a month or 2 months, and I was like, oh, I actually, well, when it comes to like wanting to make merchandise and things like for clients or for ourselves, like, oh, I feel so left out of like, I don't know yeah.
Cool. How much time would you devote to things that are pure SEO plays and not like social? And I mean, the reality is everything that you do can be reformatted for different platforms. And so like ideally, like, you build a free tool, cool. Link to that, talk
Mm-hmm.
about that on social. You write a prompt template, great. LinkedIn post, steal this prompt,
Mm-hmm.
yada yada. So maybe I'm answering my own question. Maybe I just need to like figure out how to work these things into the social plan. And just maybe this is the hard part about content marketing, is like it's just so much fucking work. It's
It is
like,
so much
because
fucking
like
work.
to do it really well, you need to create content, but then you should really be repurposing that content for multiple platforms, and then you need to like distribute. You need to give like, who's the guy? He's sort of an SEO guy, SEO content marketing guy on Twitter, LinkedIn, who is always like, he's like, you should be spending 80% of your time distributing your content. Most people spend like 10% of their time distributing their content.
I don't understand how you spend 80% of your time distributing your content, unless he also means like repurposing it for distribution.
I think repurposing is part of that
Oh,
equation. Probably, yeah.
I don't know.
Which
Which
AI
SEO
has
guy.
made that a lot easier. It's not perfect. It still takes work and like human oversight, but it is a
Yeah.
lot easier than it was.
Yeah.
So what's going on in your world? Are you all like keeping your head above water? Like, are you trying to grow more? Like, what is like, have you
Yes.
had any time to
If
think strategically?
Let me start with, if you have listened this far into the podcast, we are hiring 3 to 5 more people before the end of the year at this point. Yeah. If you happen to know any designers or Webflow developers or marketing people that are great, and for like a cyber audience, you should totally send them my way, please. And thank you. Head is not above water whatsoever. I'm deep in it. I thought it would slow down after Black Hat. It did not. It's only picked up. We are like building almost like 100% coverage of certain VC port codes at this point, that like we're also starting to like do sites for VCs, which is then also,
Wait, you're getting to the point where you have almost 100% coverage of a couple of VCs
yeah.
portfolios?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, it's fucking insane. I would say
Does a
like,
VC want to buy you all and make you like their platform like play?
I don't know. I haven't asked. I'll let you know. I don't
I
really
don't know
know
if
if I want
VCs
to
are
sell it.
still obsessed with platform. Like, I feel like that was the VC buzzword 5 years ago, was everyone was like, we have a platform, which just meant we write
Yeah,
content.
I think they are. I think. Okay, so like, one of the things is like we're beginning to do a lot of websites for VCs, and they
Mm-hmm.
tell us like what they're thinking about strategy and whatnot. Like content's a little big part of it. Like having a distribution arm, and like we were actually just talking to a VC, and like, oh, like what you're looking for is that your website becomes a distribution and promotional platform for your startups, whereas other VCs want like their VC brand and personal brand to be like the
Mm-hmm.
distribution
Yeah.
engine, which are both totally fair ways to do it given their reasonings. So yes, I don't know if anyone would buy them. We've had like friendly, like open, like it's on the table offers, like hey, if you don't ever want to like stop doing it, happy to talk about it. But
I just
I
feel like
don't know.
those always kind of pissed me off, because it was always someone saying, I'm not going to pay you what you're worth, but if you ever
Mhm,
like need a soft landing, I'm here, which like I guess is better than not
mhm.
having a soft landing. But like they always kind of piss me off when people would
Interesting.
make those kinds of offers. Maybe that was
Yeah.
me reading something into it that they didn't
No,
intend, but
I think it's fair. I think
I will say I had a couple of bullshit offers from clients over the years where they were like, hey, we'll pay you a normal salary and like nothing else if you want to just quit crit and like come and work for us. And I was like, why the fuck would I do that?
yeah. No, I've definitely had that too, for what it's worth.
Okay.
I think I've
All
told
right.
you about it before. Yeah. I think more from other agency types, less from like VCs. But also I think it was like timing, right? I think it was like I was more in a headspace of like, oh, maybe I do want to just like get out of the I don't know, maybe this like it was working, but it's like how well is it gonna actually work? All that stuff. And I think Yeah, things are crazy at the moment. We're trying to hire. I remember joking to like on a call with someone that we're probably gonna like double in size by the end of the year
Hmm.
at the like in January. And then I remember JJ watching the call because she thought she had to write like a proposal for it, and then she was like, "Haha, you're kidding, right?" It's like, yeah, kind of, and it's not really a joke. I think like yeah, like revenue wise, I think we are on track to like double from last year, which is cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's nuts. Like, agencies don't typically do that. If an agency has like a 20 to 30% revenue growth year over year, that's pretty solid. It can happen for sure. Like, sometimes people like catch fire and they grow, especially when
Yeah.
you're small, but that's a big deal.
Thanks. I do think that like there's like some hesitation around all of it. I think like our growth is like pretty much entirely dependent on the sentiment in the market, right? And like who we're servicing. So like when VCs were all holding their money and everything dried up in 2023, that was one of the hardest years. And now
Yeah.
like AI is in this crazy ass whatever. And like just to like stay mildly grounded, like I don't know, kind of a little bit worried that it feels like 2021. And
Oh, we're in an AI bubble. I think the
uh
difference, I firmly believe we're in an AI bubble. I think the
yeah,
difference between like the AI bubble and some of the like bubbles we've been through recently,
yeah.
I think there's more legitimate value being created in this bubble. And so I feel like this is gonna be more of a .com type thing where like,
Sure.
yes, there's gonna be a crash at some point, but there's the people who survive that crash are gonna build some like really valuable, cool things. On the flip
Sure.
side, .com crash, fucking bad.
Yeah.
Bad time. I don't
Yeah.
remember it much because we were both pretty young, but bad time.
Yeah. I hear it was a terrible time. At least no one's buying, paying millions of dollars for AI domains, right? Except that one company.
Oh yeah,
Or maybe
I
other.
forgot that company early on. Dude, did you hear StatSig got bought by
I did. I just
ChatGPT?
saw that. I just saw
Yeah,
that.
they're a Scout and customer. Scout's yeah. I guess if we don't publish the last episode, I don't remember if we've talked about it. But my two clients right now, one of them is Miscreants and one of them is Scout,
Yeah.
which is an AI agent platform for sales teams. And StatSig was one of our early customers, and I think the founder's like an angel investor.
Nice. Nice. Cool.
You bet your ass I'm going to be
Right.
putting the OpenAI logo on the Scout website at some point here soon.
Hell yeah, you are. Damn right. You want to put both? Put Static and OpenAI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would be even better is if we can get StatSig. Well, I don't know what use OpenAI would have for an AI agent platform. Just like, yeah, that might be a tough sell. Like, hey, do you guys need a way to use Claude? We've got a way for you to use Claude without telling your boss you're using Claude.
It's pretty good. That's it. I got like an interesting I got like an interesting thing to think like chew on around like acquisitions in this space. Specifically, this isn't related to Statsig, right? But like the granolas, the fireflies, the whatevers of the world, and like the reason to acquire. So like point being that like
Specifically, the like note takers. Are you
no,
going
no, no,
like
no,
that?
just like a lot of the more wrapper based
Okay.
companies and like
Whoa. Let's be careful
um
about throwing around derogatory words. Some of us prefer it GPT innovators, not GPT wrappers. I'm
okay,
kidding.
anyway. I didn't know that was a derogatory term. I didn't
Oh,
realize.
I'm
Okay.
kidding. I'm just making a
Oh,
joke about MetaMonster 100% being a ChatGPT wrapper or a
oh,
large model provider wrapper. I mean, I would argue
yeah,
we provide more than just a wrapper. Like we've got some tooling and whatnot, but like
agreed.
eventually we'll have some cool shit. But right
Agreed.
now,
Anyway, the point I was making was like about like acquisition targets and like
yeah.
it actually might be like pretty unreasonable to not unreasonable, but it might be unlikely that, for example, an OpenAI would purchase a Fireflies or a Granola, not because that they can build it, but because
Hmm.
like you when you acquire like outside of acqui-hiring, right, which is totally fair and
Hmm.
a totally legitimate reason to be bought or to buy because the user base is the same. Like it's not like your user base of OpenAI. Like it's not like your user base at Granola doesn't also probably use OpenAI. That when you
Yeah.
purchase, like the point is like the reason to like one of the reasons that companies might purchase others is because
Yeah.
they want the user base. This is not one of those cases, which is just like shifted my thinking a little bit about like how acquisition works in this world.
Yeah, it is going to be, that's a really interesting point. Then, like, the reasons you might acquire them. So there's still acquihire. You might want the data if they have a different sort of
Yeah.
usage data set
Yeah.
that
Like
ChatGPT
AnySphere
doesn't
is like a
have.
conversation at the moment. So
They've come up with some sort of proprietary tech that, like, is still a thing. Like if they've come up with some sort of innovation that makes ChatGPT better and ChatGPT doesn't want someone else to get that, they just want to bring it
Yeah.
in-house. That's a possibility, but that's like, I think my assumption is that like a lot of the innovation happening right now is more like design user experience innovation, which is a lot harder to protect and like a lot harder to like, I kind of think a lot of the acquisitions are going to be like acqui-hires in disguise. Like if you just, look at the money Meta's throwing around at AI talent right now. I kind of think that, talent's going to be valuable enough that people are going to get these like crazy sticker numbers. But when you look under the hood, it's going to be like, oh no, it's an acqui-hire.
Yeah. Which is totally fair. Like JJ and I have been talking about possibly buying an agency, like a small one, like a baby, like a 2-person, like, or solo person masking as an agency to charge more money, mainly because we would basically be paying a recruiter, and it's like not that much of a difference in cash if it was like 4 people. That's a nice like PR thing and everything, and also we just need to grow. But this is like after we get some processes, like more processes and stuff down. Anyway, right? It's kind of like an interesting thought.
Love hearing those words. Love hearing Sean Sun say process. Oh man, music to my ears.
Yeah. You can check out my ASMR channel. That's one YouTube. Just me saying I hate it because I just say that word and it doesn't happen. Or I don't like, I feel like I've been saying process for 4 years.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's hard. It takes like dedicated effort or like resources or something. Like you gotta either be like, all right, it is this person's job, go do it, and like make sure they don't get inundated with a bunch of other crap. Or more often you just have to figure out how to get work off your plate so you can do it.
Yeah, we're talking about, Ben and I were talking about like design ops, and maybe like that might be like an interesting role to look for, because that might be something. But he and I have very different ideas of what a design ops person. His is probably better than mine.
I just listened to a really cool. Have you listened to the episode of Lenny's podcast with the Every team?
No, but I will. I just listened to the one with Airtable, and the last one I listened to was with the Lexicon founder.
I haven't listened to either of those yet. The one with Every was really interesting because Every is just like so weird in how they operate. Like they're just so AI pilled that they're just like all the fuck in, and it's interesting.
Listen, it's not fair when your last name is Shipper. Okay, it's just not. It's not. The competitive advantage is too real. I don't know what to tell you.
So one of the things they're doing that's really fascinating is they hired an internal like ops role that like their entire job is to build internal AI like tools, prompts, agents, whatever. Like use AI to automate things internally, like find internal bottlenecks and automate them away with AI. And so they were talking about that a little bit on the podcast. And then just like how, if they're being totally honest, like the amount that they're using it, and like, he was saying like they write very little code. It's like everyone's using this shit, but like feels like, if they're being honest, they're taking it to the like testing what it feels like to take it to the extremes.
Every time I think about them, I was just checking out Monologue when you told me about it. Like they are probably the best case study of vibe coding actually being a real thing, right? Like,
although I am still really curious because they've been somewhat public about their revenue, like and I am very curious how much of their revenue is actually coming from products versus. And it's hard because they have this bundle thing. So like, it's probably hard to tell like how much products are driving the bundle versus content. But my hunch is that the majority of their revenue is like their consulting arm and their content. And the products are more like a lever for generating interesting content. And like, it's almost like engineering is marketing.
I agree with you. I guess when I say like successful case studies of vibe coding, it's like, at least it's a product, at least it works.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
that's already like top 0.0.
Although I will say, I tried to sign up for Quora and it bonked out on me, and I didn't ever get it set up.
Oh, that's fair.
You did not like it, right?
Yeah, I like the design. Design's pretty. I don't think I will. Now that I've tried so many of them, including Superhuman, I don't think any of it is better than just setting up your Gmail. Yeah. Like I think there's just I think it also is like the fact that my workflows are so integrated with the Gmail inbox, and like I think I use pools provided to me by Gmail that 90% I'm sure that the users don't. But even from like just being able to see my calendar and clicking on and like scheduling events, and like if I'm in an email and then scheduling, that makes it easy to just pull everyone in that thread into calendar. Like that by itself is also super useful.
Dude,
Like,
I love the Notion calendar, and I really wanted to
mhm,
like Notion email, and I hated it.
gotcha. Same. Actually, yeah, me too. I tried Notion Mail, couldn't do it.
It's
Couldn't.
awful. Yeah. Their
Yeah.
calendar is amazing. Their calendar
Right.
is genuinely fantastic.
I think
It's
we
the
should
default
do.
calendar.
I think we should do an episode on like SaaS tools or AI tool. I wanted when you brought up monologue, I wanted to do an episode on like
An
different AI
episode on
products that
like
we're
our
using.
stacks and like
Yeah,
our
yeah,
personal stacks and what we
yeah,
use day to day.
yeah, and like how we're using them.
I feel like it's going to be a little bit boring. I feel like 90% of what I use is Notion, Google Meet, email, and Claude projects. I feel like that's 90% of what I use.
Yeah,
I
same.
really do need to get into Claude Code and like try to use it for some non-code tasks. I really want to experiment with it for marketing projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't even know you could do that with Claude Code.
Yeah, I mean, it's just generating text.
Yeah. I just thought it was like I just imagined Claude Code was like geared towards coding, so it had more.
I
don't
mean,
know.
their system prompts might be slightly geared towards coding, but like,
Mm.
it's just reading text files and generating text, and it's Claude under the hood, which is, Claude's a general purpose model. So I
Yeah.
think it would work pretty well.
Yeah.
And I did a little research one day into like what kind of markdown like editors could you put on top of it and just like sort of create like a local content management system with Claude Code running. I think JCran is doing this with Obsidian. Like they're adopting Obsidian really heavily and using Claude Code in the terminal, like within Obsidian, like in an Obsidian terminal plugin.
Oh, cool.
To do a bunch of more like project management knowledge based shit. But yeah.
Okay.
I want to try it for like marketing and like content generation.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm trying to pick up Obsidian again, but anyway, I think we have to get out of here. So
cool.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Bye.
Glad to be back. We'll try to get back into a rhythm and get these rolling out. Get that 51 subscriber number up because as that cold email said, we deserve more than 51 subscribers.
We do. Cool. Episode 1.
I hated myself saying that. It like I started
I'm just
to
gonna cut it
gag
off.
as I was. Yeah.
It's okay.
Right.
I want to cut it off. Yeah. Bye. See ya.
Peace.